Blake was recently awarded the honorary doctorate degree from UMass Dartmouth at the school's 223 commencement. So today, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Loretta Lee Blake, president of the Bedford Historical Society.
What an absolutely wonderful crowd. Look at all the folks here. And people kept saying, you know, with COVID, you think you're going to keep going? Are you going to stop? And we said, no, we're going to keep going. And we've had wonderful help all along. Good afternoon to all our guests who have joined us here today. It's an honor for me to preside over the opening of Abolition Row Park. The New Bedford Historical Society and the city of New Bedford are proud of our work together to change, as many of you know, a blighted lot into a testament of the city's amazing abolition history, while also creating a new historic district just 2 weeks ago for the residents of the city. Abolition Row celebrates the legacy of the 19th century black and white New Bedford residents who stood up against the wrongs of enslavement at a time when being an anti-slavery activist was considered crazy and odd. The Underground Railroad was perhaps the most dramatic protest against enslavement in U.S. history and was truly the first integrated human rights movement in the country. It is a story of individual and group sacrifice that can be told through the lives of many of the abolitionists that live right here. Their voices should be heard, their deeds amplified, and that is what Abolition Row Park will do. I'm grateful for the honor, as it comes at a very important time of the history of our country, when we have people who want to stop the teaching of African American, Native American, Asian Americans. They want to stop us telling our own story. Our work was an educational organization and stands in direct opposition to this view, and we are committed to teach the truth and tell the stories of the men and women who built this city and this country. No one moves these extraordinary projects forward without assistance from many areas. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge a few of our founding members who have been the visionaries and at the forefront of our society since 1996. Lee Charlton, Catherine Grover, our historian and author of The Fugitives Gibraltar, Carl Cruz, who coined the phrase Abolition Row, Jackie Hall-Smith, I thought I saw Jackie coming in. Jackie Hall-Smith, there she is. She was the visionary and the founder of the Historical Society, and Joan Bobian. I'm not sure Joan was coming, but we mentioned her in our remarks. Also in the audience today is Tony and Elsie Souza, who worked with us to save the Johnson House many years ago with Whale. And they gave their assistance as we, people of color, we began saving Black historic places in New Bedford. Their support and that of so many others over the years has led us to this moment in our new park. As an organization dedicated to preserving and celebrating the heritage and legacy of people of color, the New Bedford Historical Society has led the efforts to add diversity and inclusion to the historical narrative of New Bedford for the past 27 years. And now when people hear New Bedford, they think people of color. They think Cape Verdeans. They think African Americans. They think Native people. Before, they just thought white whalers. Well, we changed that. Our efforts have borne fruit by saving the Nathan and Mary Johnson House, the first home in freedom, as you've heard, of Frederick Douglass, visible public art dotting the region, including the Lewis Temple statue in front of the public library, the 54th Mass Volunteers Plaza at Custom House Square, the 54th Mass mural, the African American and Native American Trail honoring Captain Paul Cuffey in Westport, Cuffey Plaza in New Bedford, the Jazz mural. We are now adding Abolition Row and the new Historic District to this list of our accomplishments to save Black history. The elements of public art we have added to the New Bedford landscape ignite public attention and inspire onlookers to embrace the underappreciated and sometimes forgotten deeds of men and women of color. Their stories represent a touchstone for all of us. Black history is everybody's history. Black history is the history of this country. And I'm so grateful. So one of the wonderful things is learning how to use these words like appreciation, grateful. I'm so grateful that the city was our partner in this. We really came with a new model of how to develop community development with nonprofit organizations. The City of New Bedford, the National Park Service, the Society of Friends, AHA, the Cultural Outreach Group, our state elected officials, Representative Cabral and Montigny, and many foundations and many individuals. I think they're all here. Thank you so much for all your support while we put this park together. Thank you.